Hi guys, how's it going? Ivano here, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this is footage that I wanted to review from the other day on the stream when we played an organized 5v5 match with our guild Starfighter Enjoyers against Regstar police. So I wanted to do a little commentary and try out this format, just explaining basically what we do, how you play in a premade versus another organized premade. And maybe comment over some of the aspects of how to play and hopefully also how to win. So first of all, this was a little bit of a grudge match. There might or might not have been some trash talk in advance to this match. So we were definitely trying hard. Like we are, at least most of us are playing our main classes, right? So I'm on APPT. Kiddo over here is on his Deception Assassin. We have Tiba, who is of course our Sork heal, and then Kathik on his Rage Juggernaut. Balls on that day, I think, was playing Hatred Assassin, which I guess is not his main class, but we'll see how that works out. And then, of course, when you fight another premade, it's always important to also look at the classes they're playing. Obviously, we knew all these guys, so you can see they have a mercenary heal. They're playing with a PT tank. We don't have a tank, so I guess we're already at a disadvantage there at least. However, we do have the extra damage dealer, so we should be able to outdamage them. If we can live through the burst, because they do have an AP PT as well. Actually, it's this guy here. We're targeting him right now. And that's something you can do if you run into a war zone and you target a player. Always look at their buffs. You can see this guy, for example, has his 4 stacks, which tells us he's an AP PT. But even if he maybe forgets to build the stacks, you can see he has the 7 shoulder cannons, which only AP PT has, right? Pyro and the tank, they have 4. So that's the first thing. If you go into a match like this, you always check the players, check what classes they're playing. They also have a sorcerer who is hanging out over here, I think. If I remember correctly, he was playing Madness in this game. But yeah, you can check that out as well. Madness and Lightning, they have quite distinct animations. So that's the first thing. The fifth player, it was of course a 5v5 match to make it fair here on the Stronghold in Rishi. Fifth player is in Stealth, and he's playing Lethality Operative. So, yeah, basically, before going to this match, they do have a tank. We don't have a tank. So we can expect that we have to kill them quickly because, yeah, over time, if they have the guard and we don't, then we might lose the game. This is just before the start of the match. So here we're just calling out 3 to 1 to let them know that the match is starting. Later we figured out how the deathmatch mode actually works on the Stronghold, but for now we're just kind of running in. Something that you can do is, you see we're moving towards the group, we're targeting the PT. The healer is guarded right now. So they might be thinking that we're trying to kill the PowerTech, but actually Kiddo is calling out Lightning. So in a second you will see me throw my detonator on Lightning and swapping to him. What we're trying to do is that ideally all of our 4 damage dealers want to kill the same target here, or at least, focusing the same target, because that will put them under immense pressure and should force the tank to switch guard. So here I'm quickly changing direction, going on this guy. Kiddo is jumping in with Shadowcraft and stunning him. And if you watch his HP bar, even though our other 2 damage dealers didn't react to the call in time, they're jumping on the healer. Maybe that actually helped to confuse them a little bit. So we're kind of split here. But Kiddo and I probably have enough burst to one-shot the sorcerer just with the 2 of us. Obviously being a Deception Assassin and AP PowerTech. So yeah, through my detonator, I immediately pop fuel. As I said, the game plan is just to do maximum pressure here against these guys. I've already used energy burst, so using kind of a short opener, because I know that I don't need the whole retractable blade and rocket punch thing. Simply these, let's say the short opener of thermal detonator, energy burst, and then energy burst again. This is going to be enough to kill this guy if he doesn't barrier. Let's see if he does. So I already used my carbonize just to kind of pressure the guys, and that's something you can do. Like if you have the pressure and the enemy is kind of afraid of their life, for their life, then he is in barrier right now, meaning he's not doing any damage to us, right? So at this point, he's already dead. He had to barrier already, use his best cooldown, and we are all at 100%, right? So this is the kind of the value of pressuring. Now my thermal detonator doesn't go off here. He buried it in time. Sometimes it's good if you actually barrier at something like 40%. You don't want to barrier at 10% because now after he comes out of the barrier, he still has 40% HP. So if he knew he was going to take this damage anyway and he can see my thermal detonator on him, then barriering a bit earlier is better than too late. So we got his barrier. This is really good. Now the tank swapped guard and the healer is going to heal him up. So we are probably swapping to another target. Getting capped here, and I can see that I'm starting to take damage now. So what I do immediately is always pop energy shield. This is a really good cooldown to pop as kind of the first one in the rotation. Why is it good? Because energy shield, of course, gets its cooldown reduced once you take damage. So I'm hoping to have this twice per fight. By the way, if you paid attention to my cooldowns before the match, I had Kolto on cooldown because of some random dueling that we were doing on the Stronghold. So we're not going to have Kolto this game. What I'm doing here is just dotting them all up, putting my retractable blade on them. Lightning is still guarded, we're calling that out. So now we're swapping on gun, we're calling that out in the Discord as well. Something that's really important and separates good teams from the best teams is that you communicate what you want to do ahead of time, and then everyone reacts to the message and basically does the same thing, right? Like even having a bad plan and everyone kind of executing on it is better than having no plan. So our plan right now is to kill the PowerTech. PowerTech, of course, is one of the classes that's easier to kill. I mean, especially if you have 4 good damage dealers. We can see that he has shield running, right? But if you look at his buffs, the shield is about to run out in a couple of seconds. So he's actually a good kill target right now. So here at this point, Kiddo calls out that the tank has removed the guard from Lightning. And we know that Lightning already used his barrier earlier. So we're about to switch back on Lightning. So we're getting stunned here. I would like to break with Kolto now, but since Kolto is on cooldown, I'm probably going to break this with my determination. Yep. And now we're all going on Lightning, and he face walks. But his face walk was kind of in a bad spot. I guess he didn't put it before the match, and he just dies, even though he gets guard. At the same time, while this happens, we can see that they're all on us. We're dropping very low. I did pop my last defensive here, which is Sonic Missile, which on PT gives you additional defense and resist chance. So it is actually a defensive cooldown. I did pop it. Maybe I popped it a bit late. Let's see. When did I pop it? Yeah, popped it at something like 40%. Could have maybe popped it a bit earlier directly after I broke, but I think in general it was okay. In the Stronghold match, like I already said, I unfortunately don't have Kolto. And for some reason, the med packs were disabled as well. So here I'm just calling out that I'm about to die. So my team knows maybe they can do something. They have taunts. So maybe I can live another second. But I think here I just die. I think in a second our healer tries to res me here while the team is trying to kill their PowerTech. At this point, we're 4v4. We are dropping a little bit low from the lethality damage, but still okay since we got the first kill on the Sorcerer, and they are also dropping low. The BT doesn't have shield anymore. We should be winning here. Our healer gets the res off, so I'm accepting that. And now we're about to kill the PowerTech, right? So gun is low, no more cooldowns left. And then he just dies. The Sorcerer respawns. We kind of forgot before the match to discuss the rules a little bit. So Sorcerer just respawns and walks back into the arena. But all 5 of us are alive. There are only 4 since the PT died. So I think here we just kill all of them. Lightning gets guarded. You never really want to tunnel through guard. They make a mistake here when they all stack up in a bunch. We have a Hatred Assassin, of course, and APPT also has some useful AoE in the situation. So we're using Deadly Onslaught just to maximize the pressure on them, and the healer cannot really heal this. And as you see, they're all going low. The tank is dying actually here off screen. We're also killing the healer. And now we're finishing up the last of them. Yeah, so I think at this point they just kept running in. We kept fighting for a little bit more, but the match is basically over. So we're just going to skip forward until here the tanks eventually stops fighting. And the match was basically over. So next game, this time we do have Kolto and the med packs are working, so we got that to work. So let's see what happens now. So we can see here we're running in. We see that the Lightning Sorcerer now has guard. So we're calling out to jump on gun, which is the PowerTech instead. Another thing that's maybe interesting, like these target markers are always very important because, yeah, in the heat of a game, it can be quite difficult if you call out the name of a player and you're saying we want to go on Sygorius, right? Different people might understand the names differently. So having these target markers is always good because if you say we're going on gun, we're going on lightning, then it's pretty easy to identify who you're currently trying to kill. So here I'm again kind of faking going for the sorcerer. He's hanging out over here, but of course we're all jumping on gun. He's a bit late. Now he popped his shield and he got guard, but he's already dropped in 50%. And since he got guard from the tank, we're probably swapping on another target. We're stunned here, and they're definitely trying to go on us as well. We can see that from the target of target. So they're trying to kill us, of course. And yeah, I think we are stunned here, so we're going to break this. We have two options. We can break it with Kolto or with a normal stun breaker. Important thing here to know is that Kolto only breaks hard stuns, whereas Determination, your normal stun breaker, breaks all kinds of CC. So you can use this on roots sometimes. You can use it to break something like Flashbang or the Warrior Mass. So even soft CCs. So in this case, we are hard stunned. So well, what we want to do is we want to break it with Kolto because this more flexible breaker, we could use it later. So we're breaking with Kolto. You can see here the buff that you get. That means your Kolto is kind of dormant on you. Next, we're going to carbonize since it seems to be a spot where we can get 4 of them. So we carbonize here. They're all stunned. The tank randomly resists it, and we're trying to kill the sorcerer now that the PT has guard. So this is the basic game plan when the enemy team has a tank. You always want to focus the non-guarded target. In this case, the tank is very quick. He swaps guard before we can even really get any damage on the sorcerer. But we saw that lightning actually broke our carbonize. So if we go back a second to look at this again, we're carbonizing here and look at the sorcerer. You can see a little flash of lightning. That's the animation for the CC breaker of the sorcerer. So we know that he doesn't have it anymore. And we're calling that out in Discord as well. So what happens here is lightning ran away, but he actually runs away too far. So he might be out of guard range. We're jumping to him and he uses face walk. Because of some interesting bug that's in this game, we are lagging back. And now we can see he put his face walk back here. But the nice thing about PowerTech is that it has the second charge of your leap. So we can jump to the sorcerer and keep doing damage to him. Something that I'm calling out here is for my healer to follow me, because I've seen that I used my jump twice and our healer was somewhere back over here. So she might be out of range to heal me. So I'm kind of screaming at her here to follow me. So she can still heal me, because remember, while all of this is happening, they are still trying to kill me. We have shield running and we're at 95%. That's pretty good. But after this, we don't have too much left, so we definitely need to get some damage on if we want to win this match before we die. So Lightning gets guard. Lightning gets guard, which actually was a mistake, because the rest of my team was killing the PowerTech at this point. Sometimes if you have enough damage in your team, this is also a good strategy, which is called splitting or split damage, meaning that a part of the team is going to focus one target, and then maybe the rest of the team is focus another target. They obviously only have one tank, so only one of them can be guarded at a time. It's not the most efficient way to do things, but if we have enough damage, then it can work out. And here you see we're about to kill the PowerTech. But he is guarded, and he's still at 24% and has a healer. So at this point, we are talking to each other and we're saying, should we try to kill through guard or should we swap? And in the second the call comes to swap and go back on Lightning. So you can see we're turning around. We're already targeting Lightning, who is at 80% right now. We're going right now. And this is actually a nice swap where you can see all of our damage dealers are on the same target. And then you see what happens. Lightning needs to barrier immediately, because the tank was not fast enough with the guard swap here. We get naded, but it's not a big deal. But at this point, we're going pretty low and we don't have any cooldowns left. Actually, our call to triggers here, so this is definitely the critical point of the match. Running away hydraulics actually is one of your best defensive cooldowns, because now, for example, the tank cannot do damage to us since we're out of range. And the lethality, yes, he has his dots on us, but if he's not within 10 meters, for example, he cannot do that much damage either. So we're kind of running, we're calling out for help. We do have a triple taunt set up with the other damage dealers here, so they can definitely use their mass taunt. And at this point, we're killing Gun, who probably also had nothing left anymore. So even though he had guard, we managed to outlive him. And yeah, killed him with our superior damage. We're running. Our healer is asking whether she should pull me, but of course we are right next to her, so this would have been not a good pull. So I'm telling her just to keep healing me. It's fine. At this point, really, I'm just trying to stay away as far as possible from the other damage dealers and trying to interrupt the Madness Sork. This is the best way of staying alive. And we have another shield, so probably at this point we should be fine. Also, the PT is dead, so they have less damage to kill us. Tank is dying here just from all the damage that we're doing. And now we're about to kill the Sorcerer. No more bubble, no more face walk, and he goes down. Shield is running and we're up at 50%, and that's kind of the end of the match. So this is another thing you can do. If you do have assassins in your team and the enemy is playing PT or Jagger tank, of course you can zap them before the round starts, meaning they will be unable to swap guard. Then we're all running in. We are calling out to kill Gun here. We're all going on Gun, again doing the quick opener. And yeah, this is what you're not supposed to do if you're playing PT. You're not supposed to get globaled. Not sure what was happening there, whether he was in his inventory switching gear or he was watching a Refugee Girl stream on the other monitor, but yeah, anyway, he got one shot there. Something I haven't really mentioned so far is that if you want to avoid getting globaled on PT, you should be running the Super Commando implant, which you can see me using here. It gives you the 3-second shield that basically makes you invulnerable for the duration, because it's a 1 million absorb shield. So there's no way you're getting bursted through that. Of course, at this point, the match is basically over. We killed their most dangerous damage dealer. And now we're just kind of farming damage on them. They're trying to kill us again. We are taking all the damage. but we have our shield already running. Always pop shield early. Not sure where the SOC came from there, actually. I think he face walked up at some point. So we're chasing the SOC here. Now he face walked. You can see his face walk up here. Another nice hard swap. Barriers immediately. He'll get guarded. We're doing some damage. Killing the heal through. He was very low. And at this point, the match is over. That's it. Hopefully that helped you a little bit. If you want to see more of these commentaries in the future, then let me know in the comments below. If there's something else I should explain a little more in detail, also let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.